Did you
Get a
mute it,
bowl of
Jeff?
blueberries this morning.
Is it muted?
Oh, thanks, sir. Oh, nice.
Yeah.
There's nobody on yet. Well, hang on.
Did you go to the?
Where'd you get these through? Those are nice.
It's different. We should have test speakers.
Okay,
Well, we can all be heard now.
There we go.
Okay.
Good morning, Mr. Caleb Cage. How are you today?
Guys don't want your microphone on, then you have to put the button down till the lights go out.
Had all that time to get ready.
I was gonna say, you
Okay.
had your 1 minute warning.
We're recording, correct? Yep. Okay, we're good to go.
Good morning. Calling this meeting to order. It's Lyon County Board of County Commissioners, Thursday, March 17th, 2022, 9 a.m. at the FERNLEY Senior Center. Today's agenda action will be taken on all items unless otherwise noted. No action will be taken on any item until it is properly agendized. To avoid meeting disruptions, please place cell phones and beepers in the silent mode or turn them off during the meeting. So if you please double check, make sure you're on silent, it'd be great. The board reserves the right to take items in a different order to accomplish business in the most efficient manner. Items may be combined for consideration. Items may be pulled or removed from the agenda at any time. Restrictions on comments by the general public. Any such restrictions must be reasonable and may restrict the time, place, and manner of the comments, but may not restrict the comments based upon viewpoint. Board of County Commissioners convening as other boards. Members of the Board of County Commissioners also serve as the Liquor Board, Central Lyon Vector Control District Board, Mesa Valley Mosquito Abatement District Board, Walker River Weed Control District Board, Willow Creek GID, and the Silver Springs GID. And during this meeting may convene as any of those boards as indicated on this or separately posted agenda. This meeting may break between 11:30 and 1:30 for lunch, which I don't anticipate today, I'm hoping. Roll call. We've got let the record show that all commissioners are present here in chambers. Today's invocation will be given by Pastor John Poundstone, Joy Church.
Sovereign God, we thank you for your presence and the grant of your wisdom. May you bless these proceedings. May our conduct, our words, our intentions be honoring to you. Father, we ask your peace, and may we be the very exemplars of the peace that you so urgently desire in Ukraine and around the world. In the name of Jesus, I pray. Amen.
Amen.
Oh, Jeff.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. John, thank you. It's always a pleasure.
Thank you for coming to the promised land.
Public participation. So at this time, we'll have our first public participation. It's anticipated that public participation will be held, though it may be returned to it anytime during the agenda. Citizens wishing to speak during public participation are asked to state their name for the record and will be limited to 3 minutes. The board will conduct public comment after discussion of each agenda item, but before the board takes any action. Afterwards, please put your name at the clerk's desk. So there's a sign in up at the podium today if anybody's got any public comment there. Anybody have any public comment here in chambers? Anybody online? Okay, not looking like so. So item number 5, possible action, review and adoption of agenda.
Nothing to change, sir.
I
Motion,
move to approve.
second. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Aye. That was an aye.
That was
for
an,
approval?
that was an eye.
Okay, the motion passes 5-0.
Slow on the pickup.
No worries. So we'll move on to today. We've got 2 time certains. The first one at 9 and the second one at 9:15. So we'll move on to the first time certain. Public hearing bill number 22-04 for possible action, approve an ordinance amending Lyon County Code Title 5, Chapter 5.01.02 by prohibiting the licensing of a cannabis consumption lounge as a business. Title 7, Chapter 2 by prohibiting the consumption of cannabis and cannabis products in a public place and providing for the severability, constitutionality, and effective date thereof, and other matters properly relating thereto. So I'm sure this is Andrew. There we go.
Andrew, I think so. Okay. Andrew Haskin, Lyon County Community Development Director for the record. This is a quick one this morning. This has already been heard by the board. And at the last meeting, I presented the business impact statement for which we received no comment. So I'm here to answer any questions about the ordinance and move forward.
Anybody on board, any questions? Okay, so we are looking for a motion.
I would move to approve as presented.
Second.
Okay, we've got a motion and a couple of seconds. Any discussion? Any public discussion on this item? In chambers or on Zoom? Not looking like we see any, so we will go on ahead and take action. All in favor of item 6A as presented, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Motion passes 5-0 and the ordinance is amended. I elbowed in this time.
Oh, okay.
That doesn't wait. Our next time certain is until 6:50 or until 9:15, so we will jump to item number 7, presentation of awards and a recognition of accomplishments. So today we've got to recognize Lyon County Human Services staff of Mike Lynn McKinney for her exemplary service to the community of Lyon County.
Good morning, Shayla Holmes, Lyon County Human Services Director for the record. This morning, we're recognizing Lynn McKinney. She's sitting right up here in front in person, which we're really excited about. She's an adult services case manager in the Human Services Department. This role has many responsibilities and provide a complete array of services to individuals aged 18 to 59 and anyone experiencing literal homelessness. While all of the work is important and critical, the housing piece, as you all know, is complex and by far the most difficult aspect of this position. Mike Lynn meets with individuals when they are perhaps at their lowest point in life and provides services with empathy, kindness, and maintains their dignity while still teaching them the necessary skills to obtain self-sufficiency in housing. You all know we conduct the point in time count every year. Mike Lynn is critical to this event, particularly here in the FERNLEY area. She's helped this year and then last year as well in taking a lead role in the planning and going out as a lead interviewer with her team. This year on February 24th, when we conducted the pit count, although later than originally planned, Mike Lynn connected with a family experiencing homelessness with significant complex needs. Within 1 week, she assisted the family with getting connected to all available basic needs, services, veteran services, securing temporary shelter, to now having a move-in date for permanent housing. This isn't the normal turnaround, but it is an amazing example of how dedicated and fabulous Mike Lynn is at her job and at her role. And we are truly grateful for her dedication and services that she provides here in the FERNLEY area. Thank you, Mike Lynn.
Thank you, Mike Lynn. Good job.
Thank you.
Can I get you to turn this way real quick? Get back over there.
Heather, do you want to get in on this?
Yeah, we might as well get all three of you.
Well.
Smile.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Commissioners' comments and county manager reports. We still got time for that one. So let's start with Mr. Hockaday, fresh back from vacation.
Have a good day, ladies.
Many meetings. I was on vacation. Glad to be back in some ways. Other ways, it was nice lying on the beach. But I have had a few things that have been brought up to me, and I'm working on them. One of them would be the Walker River corridor through Wilson Canyon. Some problems there with overnight camping. Camping season, so I'm trying to get a handle on it before we start having overnight campers in the river for means of human things.
You're trying to say we can't run our sewage hose to the river?
True. I'm more concerned with the actual irrigation of our crops in Mason Valley, so I'm trying to get a handle on that. So that's the other thing has to do with something that I've dealt with almost my entire military career, and that is aircraft that are bothering livestock and flying low over people's houses, especially in Smith Valley. So I'm also trying to work with the FAA on getting some of the helicopters to go other places than above people's roofs in the rural area of Smith Valley. East side of the valley is very easy for them to go fly to, and there's hardly anybody over there, but for some reason they like to hover over everybody's roofs. That's causing some consternation. I've had 3 phone calls in the last 2 months. So I'm trying to get that resolved so that military complaints and other places. As a retiree from the military, I had to deal with this as a squadron commander, and that dealt with B1. Lyon will provide stock and basically horses run through our references. A couple of projects I'm working on and bring some more things to the board as I get answers on those two.
Mr. Anderson.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Not much to report on this week. I did attend the Silver City Citizens Advisory Board this week. I also went up to Silver City on Monday, which was Pie Day. They had a fundraiser for their library where they auctioned off pies and stuff. So I took them a little donation for that cause. Looking forward to the NACO Legislative Committee meeting tomorrow as we start looking at BDRs. And that's really all I have this time.
All righty. Thank you. Commissioner Keller.
I was waiting for you to skip over me.
No, I'm mixing it up.
Yeah, mixing that. I too am looking forward to tomorrow's meeting, get started on the NACO Legislative Committee, see which direction we're gonna go in. Attended the Friends of the Library corned beef and cabbage on last Sunday night. My days are starting to run together. Had a great time, great food. Gosh, other than running to events and stuff, it's been kind of a quiet week otherwise, so I will let you.
Commissioner Jacobson.
Yeah, Mr. Commissioner Henderson, did you have 3.14 pieces of pie up there? Or?
I had none.
No. Sorry, that went over. Like a lead brick.
Yep.
You have to be a school teacher.
Attended FERNLEY City Council meeting last night by Zoom. And they are experiencing the same growth pains that we are as far as increased pricing on stuff, almost price gouging, if you will. Cost of all the maintenance and improvements. Also, looks as though the old motocross track by the veteran cemetery there may be going away after decades of people using that and coming to our northern Nevada to spend their money at restaurants and motel rooms. So that's going to be that's a sad deal. And then just wanted to give Shayla a shout out for getting the Big Brothers Big Sisters going here in Lyon County. Nice job. That's all I have, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Just a couple of real quick things. We had our Carson Water Sub-Conservancy District meeting last night. The water year, we're still trying to get a fix on exactly what the effect is going to be. It's been a very odd year. We had a record-breaking month for snowpack, and then that was followed by 2 record-breaking months of no snow. So it's just kind of a screwy year, and we're trying to figure out exactly what effect it's going to have. So the aquifers are recharging because there's a lot of stuff, but we don't know what the river runoff is going to be. So it's indeterminate at this point. I do want to take a second to recognize John Alexander, who you guys may remember the name from a few meetings back. He did pass away last week, at the end of last week. You know, very, very long time Lyon County resident. Got the helped was instrumental in getting the Silver Springs Health District or the hospital facility up and running, and actually was the provider there for a long time as a PA, and just highly involved with Boy Scouts, delivering wood to senior citizens and others who couldn't afford to heat their houses. It's a tragic loss to our community. I am thankful for the fact that his dementia, Alzheimer's, he didn't have to suffer with it for too long, but the loss is still going to be felt by the entire community, and very instrumental in the VFW as well. So that is all I have, and so we will move on now to our 9:15 time specific. Take a 1 minute break and breathe.
You want me to give a report or?
Well, I was gonna, go ahead. Let's go back to, I was gonna come back to you, but go ahead.
Okay, relatively short, just a couple of things to report on. So April 13th, the board will be meeting to discuss the budget. April 14th, the board will be meeting to discuss ARPA funding. We have put together as I sent out an email yesterday, you should have received basically a questionnaire for every person who's putting in for ARPA funding, whether it be county staff or not-for-profits. so that when we sit down with the board, they have something that, one, we don't have any surprises coming in. There's no last minute people wanting to come in. They have until April 4th to submit their documentation. We'll put it in the agenda packet, and then the board on April 5th or 14th will be able to address. Each presenter will be given 10 minutes to present, answer any questions the board may have, and then at the end of that, then the board will be able to have a discussion and make decisions as to what they're going to fund with ARPA funding. That being said, we have been noticed that the solid waste disposal franchise decision is being protested. We are looking at April 15th, which will be that Friday, to conduct that hearing. So if that date does not work for the board, please let me know as soon as possible so we can take a look at other dates. And then we'll move forward from there. I've been requested by a number of people, are we going to release the protest publicly? Yes, we will, as soon as the district attorney's office is done reviewing everything to make sure that there aren't any issues that are of confidentiality in that document, because there were some things that some entities did put into their RFP. They listed as proprietary confidential. So we want to make sure we're not violating any of that. So hopefully tomorrow we'll be releasing that document as a public document. Other than that, everything else is going on. Public lands bill. Still receiving a great deal of input from members of the public as well as people interested in the lands bill. One of the questions that has been asked is, why do we allow private entities at all to be part of that process? Many of those private entities border or surround public lands that it makes sense. As an example, there's one in Mason Valley, the dairy, their operation completely surrounds a small acreage of BLM land. And it makes sense for them to, if the bill goes through and passes, it makes sense for them to be able to purchase that land to not have to mess with that anymore. We have reached out to the tribal nations and had conversations with them to see what they're interested in. We're still waiting to hear back from the Department of Conservation and Natural Resources if they want anything specifically added to the lands bill. So we're still going through that process. Mr. Haskin and I did sit down with our consultant last week and looked at a variety of land use maps identifying sage grouse areas, mining claims, those kinds of things, areas that we need to watch out for. So we're working through that process now as we continue on. That's it, sir. Thank you.
Quick question. Can you tell us how the protest meeting is going to work? Or I've never been through one. I don't know. You guys have you guys been through a protest?
There isn't a single person in Lyon County who's been through that. So that's why we're extending the date out so we can work with the district attorney and figure out how we're going to make that work. Once we have a basic plan, we'll sit down with the chair and discuss that.
Okay. And second question now, as far as Smith Valley, Mason Valley, and I forget the name of the company that wants to mine down there, we have not received any official requests from them. I know we haven't received an official presentation of what they want to do down there, but no request yet for anything in the lands bill, correct?
They have submitted to RCI their shape files that they would like to have. We've had a conversation with them, informed them that we believe they're asking for the world, and so they're going back to review and refine their request.
Just my personal request here, because I don't want to see our lands bill. It's got a whole bunch of other great stuff in it, held up by one and get protested by the public by something else. I would like to see two separate lands bills. One, separating whatever they're asking for if we think it's worthy of putting in a lands bill as a separate lands bill, so our other stuff doesn't get held up indeterminately.
We will look into that and report back to the board.
Thank you.
Chairman Gray, what time are you looking for on the 15th, 9
o'clock
in Yerington? And then I guess, I don't know how in depth we can talk about it right now, but so this meeting's being protested on April 15th. I'm sure the company that we awarded it to wants to order and get. Are they aware of the protest?
Yes, we've been in direct communication with all three entities, informed them of the protest, and that we'll be meeting in the middle of April to have that discussion and dealt with. We've met with the franchisee award winner prior to getting the protest, informed them that we did anticipate a protest. And we did inform him as soon as we got it, so he has held off ordering anything until that issue is resolved.
So I'm guessing that'll push some of the dates back possibly in
Possibly,
his.
yes.
Well, that would put us in a real bad position because if Waste Management doesn't wind up with it, they walk away from the contract and we have no trash service.
So according to the district attorney, the contract goes until June 30th. So we're working on contingencies for worst case scenario. So we'll brief you on that when we have a few more things solidified.
Okay, because I know that's, I received several calls on that. And just so everybody knows, we were asked, and for lack of better words, we were gagged, once the protest was put out, but that's one of the major concerns. And, so we just gotta figure that one out here, hopefully sooner rather than later for contingency. Okay, anything else for the county manager? Okay, we're gonna move on to the,
Is that hearing public?
you can't, there's no point of order. We're not Robert Rules of Order. You can, under public comment, you can bring it up if you'd like. Thank you. We're gonna move on to our 9:15. I'm sorry. No, the DA is saying, the DA is saying it's. Um, 6B, item 6B, time start 9:15 a.m. Public hearing, bill number 22-05, possible action. Approve an ordinance amending Lyon County Title, Lyon County Code Title 7, Chapter 7.02.04 by repealing certain requirements involving political signs and leaving in effect prohibition of political signs on Lyon County property or Lyon County rights of way, and providing for the severability, constitutionality, and effective date thereof, and any other matters properly relating thereto. Who's gonna handle this one?
Mr. Chair, members of the board, the county commission has already proposed the ordinance. This addresses the concerns of the timeframes because elections have changed with mail-in ballots. The board is very concerned about signs going up and to the constitutionality of being able to do anything with somebody posting a sign in their front yard. And they do have freedom of speech. So this ordinance, as you know, addresses those issues and repeals a significant portion of the timeframes and puts us in accordance with Nevada revised statute and the Nevada Constitution.
Any board comments? Any public comment on this one? Okay, you guys made it way too easy today. Okay, looking for motion.
I'll move to approve as presented.
All in favor at this time, signify by saying aye. Aye.
No comment, that's okay.
Oh, I asked for comments. I didn't.
No, I was waiting for the motion.
Okay, so the motion is passed. Still, you want to make a comment?
Yes, please, thank you. I'll be a no on this. I think there needs to be some sort of time limit. The way this is written, the day after the 2022 election, somebody could put up a sign for 2024. I think I understand the concern with the changes in the votings in the voting requirements in the state, but I still think there needs to be a start date. So I will be a no. Thank you.
And all opposed, say no.
Aye, no, nay.
There you go. So let the record show this passed 4-1. Moving on to item number 9, elected officials reports. Sheriff.
Frank Honeywell, Sheriff, for the record. I'll be pretty short this morning. We got some other stuff we got to address. I just wanted everybody to know that you're going to hear a lot of stuff about our current investigation going on in Fernley. We're working on it very diligently. Detective Dude is with me and he's putting in countless hours on this, and we'll just make sure you guys and everybody that needs to know it's once we learn some more information. So we do have a press conference today at 11 at the Fernley substation, and we're going to put out what we can then, and just I want everybody to know that we're working on it. So other than that, I don't really have much to say. Just got questions for me.
Thanks, Sheriff.
Just wish you a lot of luck.
Yeah, Godspeed on that one. Appointed officials reports. Oh, I thought he was getting like what?
I'm like,
Shayla, have you got anything? Andrew? Doug, sorry. Yeah, I'm just going way too quick today, guys. And any advisory board
Josh,
reports?
anybody? No? Okay.
Didn't see a hand, so.
Yeah.
All right, I know you guys are very anxious to get out and drink green beer today, but
It's March Madness.
yeah, there we go. Consent agenda. Action will be taken on all items. All matters listed under the consent agenda are considered routine and may be acted upon by the board of county commissioners with one action and without an extensive hearing. Any member of the board or any citizen may request an item be taken off the consent agenda, discussed and acted upon separately during this meeting. Any changes?
I do request that we pull item 13B and 13C for discussion.
You've been paying attention to contracts again. All right, anybody from the public care to pull anything off the consent agenda? All right, looking for a motion.
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve the consent agenda items 12A, 13A, 14A, B, and C as presented.
Second.
Okay, we'll take the vote, or any public comment? All right, we'll take the vote. All in favor of approving the consent agenda with the aforementioned changes, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, moving on, actually, I'm gonna jump back to 12A real quick. No, I'm sorry, that passed. I didn't cross it off. Okay, well, here, item 13B, Commissioner Hockaday.
On 13B, just adding up the figures again, they come up to $3,814. And on the contract with 4125, which of course the difference of $311. I don't see where that's listed. I know it says services and materials. What are the materials then every month for $311 for that contract?
Doug Homestead, for the record, facility director. They are the fertilizer. I called the guy in to clarify all this. He didn't understand the bid process there. And what it is the fertilizer is for the lawns and this weed spray. He's figuring it's gonna be $300 a month times 9 months. So it's $2,700 for the year.
The fertilizer then,
Yeah.
in my opinion, should be listed under each of the.
Yes, he should have listed it that way, but he didn't. And I talked to the DA and he suggested I didn't have him change it. So he was fine with that one.
Okay, I prefer to see every penny basically where it's going, and what it's for. If we're gonna look at a contract, especially a monthly thing that's coming out to. It's for, $40,000. So the next one then is the same question, except that I'm a little bit more familiar with Rustin
Hold on,
Park.
Dave, let's stay with 13B.
All right.
I agree with you, especially, when we're trying to be much more transparent. I would rather see this come back with the numbers, with it spelled out and have it correct. You said the numbers didn't match up on that one as well?
Yeah, on the second.
Yeah, so if we can't turn it out with the correct numbers and everything listed, it's not like it's a huge contract, but when it's not like listing nails and screws, but it's still.
Yeah. It was the first time this guy ever bid on the project and he didn't understand what I meant for the line. I should put on the line item materials and labor on each one, and I didn't.
So let's help him
And so
out.
he thought the first stop were just the labor, and the next line you included the cost of what it was for the labor, and then added the fertilizer or the whatever it is, weed spray. And he just took the total amount of weed spray and fertilizer divided by 9 months, and it came up to 300 and whatever it was. So.
Okay. I mean, it's not going to majorly delay the whole thing.
Well,
or-
he's got a temporary contract right now that the county manager is authorized to sign through the 17th of this month. So he won't have a contract after 17th technically.
Can you extend that, Jeff?
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll get that fixed.
And what we're doing on the temporary contract, once the original contract approved, whatever we've paid him will be deducted from the main contract.
Okay.
Because the DA suggests we didn't change the term of the length of the contract.
Commissioner Kelly, you got a question?
Well, he kind of answered my question because I'm looking at this. It was for a period of starting March 4th. So has he technically started?
He's already started with the temporary contract.
So couldn't we just approve this with him submitting a breakdown back to the county?
Well, then the numbers weren't matching either, correct? Yeah.
Well, it just, you have the numbers here listed, you have 5 numbers, you add them up, and then it's $3,814. And then the line here is services and materials is $41.25. So it's explained why it's $311. difference.
Yeah.
Mr. Chair,
It's not listed.
if I may, I would just recommend that we table both these items. We'll come back with the corrected contracts in the first meeting in April. I have the authority pursuant to your resolution from 2000, whatever it was,
Yeah.
to continue this on. We're not going to stop work. So
Got it.
Yeah.
But I do have another question.
Okay, let's take action on 13B then at this point. If somebody wants to make a motion to table it.
I'll make a motion to table it. The itemization of the bill. Let's do it, change the figures according to
I don't think the proper term is to table it. But we just,
what's that?
I said, I don't believe the proper term is to table it. We need to state that we'll bring it back to the next meeting.
Correct.
So we'll bring it back to the next meeting. Make a motion, bring it back to the next. meeting.
Second. Was that enough?
Any discussion? Any public discussion? Okay, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We'll hear that one again next meeting. Item 13C, Commissioner Hockaday.
Okay, on this one, of course, we get to $600 because we went from $2,300 for services across the park to also $2,900. So I understand from materials, but $600 a month.
What?
Materials are for spray and stuff. I mean, I spray 7 acres. That's a lot of money. That takes care of me for the whole season, $600. So you're going, my gosh, for 9 months, we're paying $5,400 for. Plus, the Dressler Park board is handling it. We were basically doing the maintenance of the entire park for under $10,000. Here we're looking at close to 30,000. So I'm just, again, trying to match up these figures and add them up. That's a lot of money.
Again, this is Doug Homestead for the record, facility director. I brought the gentleman in and he did make a mathematical error there. It's a 2,900 times 9 months. It comes to that dollar amount. I asked him about the $600 difference and he said it's for the fertilizer. The fertilizer is $50 a bag now. And he's got to make 3 applications. And he told me how many bags it was. It came up to like $5,500 for fertilizing that field. So, and he's lower than the next closest bidder too. So, I mean, I don't know if they're gouging us or not, or if they're putting some of the material costs into their labor too. Who knows?
Can't we winter graze some cows on that land or something?
Well, I'm sorry, Dave, you just said something that's kind of disturbing. You don't know if they're gouging us, and we just heard that they were doing it for a whole lot cheaper. Can we check around with other entities and find out what they're paying and who,
So if I may, so we were probably doing it cheaper with back then.
yeah.
I'm doing a water line break at my house right now. It's costing me $10,000 because of prices. That is the challenge we're facing.
Okay.
So
No, I'm not going to disagree with that. It's just,
I sent out about eight or nine bid packages to different landscape people and lawn maintenance companies. And I only received 3 back and only 2 of them bid on Dressler and only 2 of them bid on Yerington. The other, and I had 3 people bid on FERNLEY over here.
yeah. And I know what you're going through. I talked to somebody the other day that's got a maintenance business and they're walking away from a lot of smaller places. They just can't hire the people to do it and they can't charge enough to make it worthwhile when they do hire them. So they're shutting down or just doing commercial or public public contracts.
I mean, we'd love to have an individual that had a business license over in that area to do it, take care of it for us, but we don't.
There you go.
It's the only other way thing is to hire more people.
Got it.
When let's take care of it.
Right. Any other further questions from Mr. Homestead on this one?
No, but I will, continue to look into it. And at this point, obviously, we have the lowest bidder here. We got to keep the markup. So I can make a motion. Have a map for it.
Okay, I just have one comment or a question, Julia. I would say your name wrong. I did, I apologize. On these items where we continued or making motions and now we're doing another motion, these items were not actually read into the record.
Yeah, that would be a good idea.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
We're
Yeah,
just naming them off by number.
that I apologize. So item 13B, I'm gonna go back and read that one into the record. We did take action on that one. It was approved the Yerington area landscape contract for the period of March 4th, 2022 to November 30th, 2022 in the amount of $37,125 to Class Act maintenance. Action was taken on that. I apologize for not reading into the record, and it was, it will be heard again next month. Item 13C, which we're getting ready to take action on now, is approve the Smith Valley area landscape contract for the period of March 4th, 2022 to November 30th, 2022 in the amount of $26,100 to Class Act maintenance. We have a motion on the table to approve this one as presented.
Second.
Okay, we have a
You
motion.
always get 2 seconds, you notice that?
I have noticed that today. I think I've had 3 at one point. Any further discussion on this item? Any public comment? Okay, all in favor of passing this as presented, say aye. Aye. Opposed, say nay. And it passes 5-0. Consent agenda is done. Returning to the regular agenda, item number 15, utilities for information only. Capital project update from the utilities engineer, Kishore Penda. Assuming he's online, correct?
Good morning, Mr. Chair and Commissioners. For the record, this is Kishore Penda, Utilities Engineer. I'll present a status update of the utilities CIP for the last 2 months. The last one we reported in January. As you can see, I hope you can see the presentation on the screen. So in summary, we added one project to the list of projects that are being going on right now. That project is in the planning stage. So it is Highway 50 Dayton Valley Road sewer replacement project phase 2. I'll give some more details in my next slide. So there are 2 projects still in design.
Mr. Panic, can you hold on just a second so we bring up the presentation?
Okay.
I'm trying to.
Okay. Yeah, just give us a second to get up to your slides. Okay, please continue with slide 2.
You're in slide 2. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is a new project. We are in the planning phase. Basically, I'll give some background of this project. Back in 2020, we pursued the entire project, which is divided right now, as you can see on the screen, into 2 phases, phase 1 and phase 2. So the phase 2 portion, we had significant construction challenges, including getting some additional easement. So we divided the project into phase 1 and phase 2. And we began the construction of phase 1, which the project was completed last year in May. And right now we are taking up the phase 2 portion. This phase 2 basically is about 2,000 feet of pipeline, which are in very bad shape. We did a video last December. We are hoping that we can repair this line, but the condition of the pipe is such that it cannot be repaired. So only option is we can follow the existing route, take it out, put a new pipe, or we can explore some alternate routes so that we can connect these 2 endpoints between phase 1 and on the left side, which is next to the Sinclair gas station, if you know, at the crossing of Highway 50 and Dayton Valley Road. Some of the things we are exploring different routes, and one of the possible route that we have finalized, and of course we are exploring other options. So we propose a budget of about $7.6 million. I know it's quite expensive because there are some construction challenges that we have to overcome. So we propose this budget in the financial year 2023, but at the same time, we're also exploring other options. So we are talking to these owners for additional easement. Hopefully, if we get the easement, we can continue to explore the possibility of digging the existing pipe and putting a new pipe in place, not going in other routes. We may need some additional easement, so we are in discussion with the property owners there. So hopefully in the next few months, we'll have more information for the board. Next project is the rolling a plant expansion. We don't have much progress on this project because the design was completed back in July of 21, but we are waiting for the REAP projects to be completed so that we can start this construction. So I'll give you some update on the Aspen Creek project in my next slide. So in the last board meeting, we reported that the dam safety is the permit that is still pending. And since last 2 months, our technical group, basically the geotech engineers, they are in collaboration and working with the Department of Water Resources. Could you please scroll to the next slide, please? Yeah, so this is about the Aspen Creek REAP project, by the way. So last 2 months, we are in talk and basically presenting whatever information needed from our technical consultants. As of last week, we had some information that we are going to get some information updates today, or at least by end of this week. So as soon as we get the permit for this project, I think we are ready to build the project, hopefully within a week. So with everything going smooth, I think we are hoping to start the bidding sometime at least end of this month. Next slide, please. This is your lift station 2 replacement project. The bid was open last September due to the issue with the material and equipment availability. We have not issued the notice to proceed yet to the contractor. As of last month, we received the construction schedule from contractor. And the good news is that we are going to start the construction on April 18th. So we have not, we are planning for a pre-bid conference meeting with the contractor, and pretty soon we are going to issue the notice to proceed. Again, the current market situation, we had some flexibility in the contract. We kind of delayed the NTP until we received most of the equipment and material for this project. Next slide, please. Highway 50 water line replacement, phase 1A. This project is almost complete. We are just waiting for the one component, that is the pavement slurry seal. As you know, the board approved some time extension, no cost, up to June of this year. Once the weather permits and we have the material availability, we can do the slurry seal, which is the last part of the project, and then we can close this project. So this project was successfully completed. We saved almost $100,000 by changing some construction approach during construction. Just to give a snapshot, the construction contract was $884,521. So expenditure is close to $800,000. Next slide, please. This is 2 tanks. We did some coating job with some minor repairs and rehab aspects, upper and lower Dayton tanks. Board also approved a time extension for this project up to May. Due to some weather, not supporting the final coating work to be finished. So luckily we got some good weather days back in December and January. So the all construction is complete as of date. The tank was handed over to operations. All the regulatory water quality checkups are done. We got the clearance from the Bureau of Safe Drinking Water. So the tank is now ready to go into service. However, last week we found some odor issue. We kind of drained twice, and with that odor issue not present, which we are trying by this week, we are filling the tank again. If everything is okay, this tank is going to be brought into service pretty soon. So hopefully within a couple of weeks. Next slide, please. Yeah, so this is the last project in the list. This is a small projects done by the staff in-house, El Dorado pressure reducing valve relocation. So this is basically will help with some operational improvements to manage the water supply. Well, the PRV was built and everything was ready. We are waiting for this upper Dayton tank to be brought online. Once the tank is online, basically we'll bring this online also. So that's all I got today. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Panda. Any questions for Mr. Panda?
Yes. Mr. Henderson. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just an observation on the project for the sewer line replacement, the phase 2. Yeah, the budget of 7.6 million for 1,800 linear feet. That's $4,000 a foot. Is that typical?
No, it's not typical. I'll give you some background on that. So the existing route, we hope that we could do the pipe bursting through Dayton Valley Road, but NDOT has a requirement because it's asbestos concrete pipe, we cannot pipe burst. So the option is to do an open trench construction, take the pipe out, put a new pipe in place. There are some other challenges regarding all the utilities, AT&T fiber optics, all these things. So we explored another option going further up to the north of Highway 50. The street is called Giller Way, that is parallel to the Highway 50. So the idea was we can push the pipe a little bit away through a different route, bring it back to the existing route along the Highway 50 again. So that depth was about 20 plus feet. So knowing the experience in the local contracts and some constructions, Far West came up with a construction cost. Of course, there is some cost escalation due to the construction challenges built into that route, but we are actively pursuing other routes. Mostly going through the existing route, we can open trench. Hopefully the price will come down. But you're right, that unit price for linear foot of pipe is absolutely pretty high.
That's, I mean, talking about sticker shock.
Yeah,
There's nothing normal price these days.
Right, but going back to the water line replacement, that was, $1,500 a foot. And so 1,500 for water line to 4,000 for sewer. It's just something we need to keep our eye on.
I think you ought to, I think you just actually justified that though. Sewer line, water line, no. They could pay me a lot more money to work with crap, but anyway.
It's a virgin line, doesn't have any crap in it.
Okay. Josh Foley is on there online. Item 16A for possible action, approved replacement of the Arrington Library roof in the amount of $75,000 to be paid from capital improvements fund. Josh, where are you? All right, he's not gonna get on. Let's make a motion.
Mr. Chair, Doug Homestead,
Doug Holmes,
Facility
okay.
Director, can address that for you.
Doug Homestead, Facility Director for the record. That roof has a bunch of pinholes in it, and the problem is they didn't take the old roof off when they put the new roof on several years ago. And so you don't know where the leak is going to appear. It's just coming out mainly by the drains on the ceilings coming down on Amy's nice new floors. And they're having a hard time getting materials for this too. And the first bid we got a year ago was 58,000, and this time it's 70 whatever. It is. And the next closest was over 100,000.
Okay, I do have a question on this, because we keep hearing these things, problem with construction, problem with, we heard it with the, the sewage in Dayton, they didn't have the right calculations because the weather was not what they had anticipated. They based on Arizona or something. I'm still waiting for an answer back from the DA's office on whether or not there's any liability there. But again, going back to this, how old is that roof now?
I don't, do you know, Jeff? I would,
said
someone
a
told
few
me,
years,
no, it's like, I want to say 20 years.
Yeah, okay, so it's not a few years. then.
No,
That's-
no,
okay.
no.
Yeah, it's
At my age, a few years is 20 years.
Okay, all right, I'll give you that one. But yeah, it's just something that, that irritates me that, when something is missed or something, there's a construction defect,
Yeah.
we tend not to go back after the, it seems like we tend not to go back after. the
I was still in the
contractor.
sheriff's office when they were doing that roof.
Oh, God, that was a long time ago.
The only other solution is to coat the roof with a silicone coating, but then, you spend 40,000 doing that. May as well get a complete. I
No,
told
that's fine. You answer the question. That's all
Can't put
good.
a Band-Aid on it.
For motion.
You know what? That's a good idea. How about a motion?
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve the replacement of the Yerington, of the roof, the Yerington Library roof in the amount of $75,000 to be paid from the Capital Improvement Fund.
Only 1 second. All right, any discussion? Any public comment? All right, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And since it was 5-0, I will assume there's no nays. There you go. 17B, possible action, accept resignation of Tosca Runner from the Smith Valley Advisory Board.
What happened to
What about
Saturday?
Oh, I'm sorry. I skipped right over. I crossed off before it gets. Possible action, appoint Joanne Lawson to the South Lyon County Hospital District with a term expiring 31 December 2022.
A motion to appoint Joanne Lawson to the South December 31st.
Second.
Any discussion? Any public comment? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Again, passes 5-0. Item 17B, accept resignation of Tosca Renner from the Smith Valley Advisory Board.
Make that motion also to accept the resignation of Oscar Ritter from the Smith Valley Advisory Board. Unfortunately.
Yeah, that is a sad loss. So we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Any public comment? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0. Item 17C, appoint one member of the Central Lyon County Park Advisory Board with a term expiring 31 December 2022. I'm going to make the motion that we appoint Michelle Scott to the Central Lyon County Park Advisory Board with a term expiring 31 December 2022.
Second.
Okay, any discussion? Any public comment? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, pass 5-0. 17D, appoint up to one member to the Mountain House Advisory Board with the term expiring December 31st, 20. Okay, that's not right.
Good guess.
Can we,
Wow.
you know what, let's, actually, I'm gonna make a motion that we, is it an extra two?
Or an
Are we
extra
sure?
three. Or
Can
is
we accept that? The date is wrong. Okay. Okay, thank you. Okay, so I'll make a motion that we appoint Len Callison to the Mountain House Advisory Board with a term expiring 31 December 2023. Any discussion? Any public comment? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, signify by saying nay, and it passes 5-0. Okay, agenda requests. We will start with Commissioner Keller.
Not at this time.
Commissioner Henderson.
I would like to see an item on our next agenda to authorize commissioners to register and attend the National Association of Counties Conference in Colorado in June.
So that's the Western Regional Conference, right?
No, that is the annual NACO conference.
Okay.
The WIR is going to be in Alaska.
Oh, I want to see that one on there. Okay, so we have that request. Commissioner Jacobson,
None at this time.
Commissioner Hockaday,
None for me.
Okay, and I do have one, and I was hoping it was gonna be on this, and it's for discussion, possible action. Not saying I'm in favor of it. I'm not saying I'm against it. But I have received multiple requests now from the public about the utility rates going up in Dayton and all the other rates going up. They would like to see if we would consider postponing the rates or shifting the rate increases a little bit. But I would like to see discussion and hear the pros and cons of that from the comptroller and utilities.
I believe Mr. Foy is that planned to be on when we do the budget hearings to have that discussion as an action item at budget hearings.
Okay. Yeah, that'll work. So
It's the middle of next month, so.
yeah, no, that's fine. I was trying to think of the date, so that works fine. Anybody else have anything? Okay, we are going to commissioners' comments. Who do we start with earlier today? Okay, start with Rob.
Wish everybody happy St. Patty's Day and look forward to a busy month next month. I know we've got budget hearings and everything, so. Our regular meetings, hearings,
Workshops.
Workshops.
Thanks, Jeff.
You asked for it. I give it to you.
Reviewing county manager applications. Commissioner Keller.
Just want to wish everybody a happy St. Patty's Day. Make sure you wear your green. If you don't wear it, go drink it. Anyways, just hope everybody has a great week and yeah, we're gonna have to rest up for next month, it sounds like. So are we serving lunch, dinner, breakfast?
All three will start at 4 o'clock in the morning and get everything done by midnight the next day.
Commissioner Henderson.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I neglected to mention during my earlier report that
It's okay.
I did spend some time with Mr. Homan, looking at the county roads. I appreciate his time. We've got another road trip scheduled later this month. And I'd also like to say, go Arizona Wildcats in the NCAA tournament.
No, as a former Sun Devil, that will not be accepted. We're gonna strike that comment from the
You're a
record.
Sun Devil? I didn't know.
Oh, anyway, Mr. You are just really messing with me today. Mr. Hockaday. Commissioner Hockaday.
Have a great St. Patrick's Day and a good week.
All right.
I don't think they're big, maybe.
They didn't. So yeah, again, wish everybody a very happy St. Patrick's Day. Be safe tonight, especially if you're gonna go out and drink. Please don't drive. I do want to say, and this is not a political statement, but I'm gonna go on the record right now. We have, this is fun and game season. We're coming up to election time. Please take the time, if you plan on voting, take the time to go into the Secretary of State's website, and checking your voter registration status to make sure you are registered and make sure you're registered to the right party. There have been a lot of errors on both sides lately, and I don't want anybody to be silenced for, I want everybody to get out there and vote. And I don't want them to lose their vote because of a clerical error or something. So please get out there and double check that. I have one other thing, but bring it up next time. It's important. That's all I've got. Anybody else have any last minute comments?
Mr. Chair, if you will go to public participation and then adjourn the meeting, we do have a closed session.
Well, you beat me to it there. There you go.
Just want to make sure you're aware.
No, I was aware. So now we'll go to our last public participation. Anybody online in the audience? All right, we're gonna go ahead and adjourn the meeting and then take 5-7 minutes, long enough for you guys to get switched over. Thank you guys. Thanks everybody. And I think this might be a record. 57 minutes.